Welcome to the Voice of the Ville. It's another great episode. I got my co-host here with me,
Jimmy Alexandre.
the Jimmy Alexandre, ladies and gentlemen, and yours truly, Jeff Lamour, and this is
Voice of the Ville.
the Voice of the Ville. Hey man, but I want to take this special moment to thank our editing team. Thank you to our chief editor, Jimmy Allison. He's making us look good. Without this guy putting the hard work, long nights, sitting behind the computers, we wouldn't be looking that great online.
Oh, we do what we can.
Wait one second.
I was wondering when I was going to get the bell. Finally, right? Finally, we got the bell. But yes, we definitely here at Voice of the Ville got a lot of great things we are doing as far as the editing goes. It's a team progress. With Global Heat Entertainment.
Shout out to these people there.
So we
Yeah.
definitely coming up, but. I think we have a very great topic today, man. I mean, as we sit here, trying to figure out what would we talk about today, and we wanted to hit something that is recent, that is on everybody's mind right now.
War.
We're at war.
Doomsday war.
It's wartime. Some are calling it World War III.
Well, I don't think it's that fact, but I feel like today, today current conflicts in the Middle East, many Americans, is asking itself what's going to come out of this. How is it affecting America? How is it affecting regular people that's living here, in America?
Well, first, let me say I don't know that I will call it World War III. Let me address that first. I don't know that I would call this World War III. However, I would go as far as to say we are at the verge of World War III because there's a lot
I think so too.
Yeah, there's a lot of nations looking at this, and and we're gonna go into details. And us guys by now here at Voice of the Ville, we are very opinionated, and it's all right. And we like you, we have the right to see things and feel certain way about things, and that's what makes us Voice of the Ville, because now we can share that with you, and some of you will share the same point of view, and some of you will not.
Yeah,
And that's okay.
yeah.
But I would say, we are at the verge of World War III, and you asked a very interesting question. How is it impacting us? Personally, I would say it's already impacting me at the gas station. Came from 239 on a good day to 249, 255, and this is here in Alabama. And I know in different states you guys are seeing a difference, but either way, no matter where you at, I would say it's impacting you, because now we have $3 and some change. That's an impact.
I feel like, of course, it's going to affect you. When you have, big shipping routes like Peru, in the island of Hamas.
Okay, Hamas.
Hamas, not the group. I'm talking about in Persian, the island.
In the Persian, which is the route,
island,
the route for the oil.
Routes for the oil. So the oil production, it's going to make things a lot tighter on the ship, and of course, it's going to, it's going to cause gasoline prices skyrocket here in the U.S.
It is, and if somebody else out there is like me, the question's going to come up, right? I'm going to have to put it out there. The question's going to come up, wait a minute, stop. Ain't that's why we just took out, what was this guy with the president, Maduro.
Nicolas Maduro.
Okay, in Venezuela. We took him out, so now we are controlling all this oil. Why should we have oil problem?
I don't think the war in Iran.
Well, we talk about route.
To do with oil,
Well, wait a minute. We talk about the route for the oil. Why our gas prices are going to go up, and so on. So if we have all this control, and I don't know if you've seen this, we have President Trump sitting with Exxon and all those big money guys that's going to control this oil, right? And yet now we talk about our prices going up because we are at war with Iran.
Yeah,
so I'm trying to correlate.
Because you gotta understand, most of our oil is coming from the Middle East regions, and the production is gonna make it definitely tighter on productions. What does that mean for people at home? People don't understand when the gas prices is up, it affects small businesses, and it affects the prices, and because as a former truck driver, there's a thing that says that truck drivers keep America moving.
That's right.
But where it's going to affect us is like, the truckers, for instance, if the price is up, then they're going to have to charge more per loads. and then guess what? The cost of that is passed on down
To the little people.
to the little people. So
Right.
that's, I mean, that's
Which
the
is
way
a
it
problem.
is. So the way it's affecting us is affecting our pocket.
It is.
And then, another possible impact is inflation. Where energy and transportation costs are rising.
Yeah, we can act like the previous administration. We can act like the previous
It's
administration
affecting every. Yeah.
act like there's no inflation going on, but I
Yeah.
think we're still dealing with inflation because
Big
again,
time. Big time.
I have a house. I have a household of 5, and what I do know for a fact, where $200 used to take me at Walmart,
Oh man.
Publix.
Wait, let me give a bell to the old day, brother.
$200 is not taking us there. $200 is not taking us there.
No.
So now you basically almost have to double, almost triple it,
Or
at
maybe
least one and a half.
$1,000 grocery bill. I mean, it's getting ridiculous,
But here's the thing,
it's
Jeff.
stuff like that,
Here's the thing, and that's where I'm getting at with this.
Mm-hmm.
If we basically took out, the Venezuelan chief of command and his wife, and
I think.
I told her,
Yeah.
whatever, Maduro, right?
Not my.
No, I'm talking about the chief of command in Venezuela.
Oh, you're talking about, we in Venezuela.
I'm
Hey,
still
you
back in
backtracking.
Venezuela.
All right, brother.
Because here's the thing, we're saying that
Yeah.
the oil price going up has to do with the production of oil, and most of our oil comes from
the Middle East.
the Middle East.
And,
So, but if we now sitting on all this oil, because I think Venezuela is the second largest producer of oil in the world, and now we can say, thanks to our president, Donald J. Trump, we now in control of this oil. That's why these guys sit in these tables and making those decisions.
But I don't think that just Venezuela alone would. I mean,
No, but if we're sitting in that oil, that means we shouldn't have an oil problem.
but-
Unless we are saying that they have not produced it.
They are going to sell the oil. I think I don't want to, don't quote me on this, but it's just kind of personal opinion at a lower price where they get to keep some of it and we get to keep some of it.
Which should
But I
make it
don't
a lot easier on us.
Yeah.
So even in war times is what I'm saying, that we shouldn't have to worry about oil unless things are not the plans have not been activated yet, where we can actually start benefiting from that oil. Maybe there's a backlane, but because if we are going to attack Iran, see, one of the reasons that like I said, I don't take party sides. I really don't. In fact, I don't really like politics. Or politics, or whatever names that we can put in it. Like I always said here on this platform, I don't believe I need to vote a person, a man.
Take that back. We just said
Politics, right? And it is what it is, because at the end of the day, whenever you have a human being, another man, making decisions, the first priority is gonna be to his own pocket, his own family first, and then we'll look outside of that.
You know why it's like that, right? We no longer have statesmen. We have politicians. I mean, we don't have statesmen
Providing
no
politics.
More, Providing
More
politics.
tricks. More tricks.
The quote of the day, Jimmy Alexandre. Politics.
Yes. So and when you have that type of setting, what's going to happen is you have people again looking out for their own. Except here in America, it's more classic. We're gonna try to put country first, while we as a collaborative, the head, gonna make sure our families are good. Then we're gonna put countries first. But ultimately, when things that is happening, the small people suffers.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you. Do you think that this attack is justified?
Do I think this attack justified? I don't really. I can give you my opinion of it.
Of course.
I mean, I feel like, they oppose a threat to Israel, especially when they find out they have the uranium. What's it? Gosh, I'm forgetting how to say that word.
Uranium, or
the
material.
Material,
Okay.
Which the U.S. is currently looking under the ground.
Okay.
For that means that if they have a nuclear weapon, it would pose a threat to Israel and different countries out in the region. But at the same time, with the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, said that they were developing a missile that can reach the U.S. within within 2035, which is that's 9 years from now. I don't really think. I think it would be very difficult for them to build a missile that's going to reach us. I mean, I just think. I mean, unless technology extremely advanced,
And
you
they
know,
have.
and I mean, don't get me wrong, but we the U.S. We the baddest and the greatest. I mean, I'm not lying. I mean,
Hey, hey, most
we
powerful
America,
country.
man.
This is America,
Yeah.
of course.
There's
Everybody knows.
never been a country like that in our, and I mean in our generation
In history.
But I do think that
So you
I
think
do
it's
think-
justified?
I would
In your opinion.
In my opinion, I don't think that we should. Because this morning, as I was scrolling and I'm seeing these servicemen returning home, you know, as an American, may their soul rest in peace and thank you for their service to our great country, you know. But as an American, man, it brought tears to my eyes because, you know,
Young
that's
man.
my neighbor
Young
and that's
man,
my
young
brother
woman.
that's coming out in the casket. And as a patriot, you know, like I felt it. And I was like, why are we creating these wars? But sometimes things like that have to happen.
And that's
for the
what I
next
mean.
big
Is
thing.
it justified? Because if we say
Is
yes,
it-
it's justified,
But
then
the question is it justified for me? I feel like is it necessary? No, I don't think it's necessary.
yes. Okay.
But as a Christian, I was told to protect Israel, you know, and that's important because I mean we can open a whole nother can of worms on that.
Whole
Wait,
can of worm on that.
But bombing schools and bombing people, is it justified? No. Nobody want to see wars. Nobody want to see casualty of wars, you know.
So let me share my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take about 5 minutes on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me share my opinion on this. Is it justified? I will say no. And let me explain why I don't believe it's justified. One of the reasons that many, when you look throughout social media, people are saying, well, first, Iran has threatened us. But that's something that has been going on for years. However, the fact is we know that Iran does not have anything capable of reaching us right now. But that also brings up to another question. As we said that, you know, especially under this administration, putting America first, putting the people here first. Is this putting us first? I don't know that it is. It didn't say put Israel first because if you are of the Christian faith, you are told to protect Israel. I don't know that justify the whole of the people who's voting, especially when you voted on the aspect that, hey, finally we have a guy that is going to put America first. In other words, to me, that translates I'm going to stop putting my nose in other people's business, stop policing the world, and we're going to put America first, which means our safety, our infrastructure, our economy. This is putting us first. Now, safety meaning, hey, however we're going to defend ourselves. Is it right to say, hey, I'm making all type of weapons so I can protect my people? I am making using nuclear weapons so I can protect my people? And we say, yes, we want our government to protect us. However, is it right to tell another country they do not have the right to do so? Just based on the fact that they're saying that if we allow, well, there's a problem. We allow, that's a strong word. Why are we allowing or not allowing when we should be focusing on us? So in other words, if they're going to build something to do something to us, we should be focusing on building something even bigger to protect us. But to turn around and say who can and who cannot, I feel some type of way about that. Because just like we here, our leaders here has a right to protect us by any means, well, so does the other country. Should be protecting their people.
Go ahead.
But let's go a little bit further with this. The third layer of this that rubs me wrong, that we have a responsibility to protect Israel?
I mean, us as an empire, like if you read, even Solomon, for instance, right? One of the, I would say, wisest king that probably ever lived. You have to build the exterior protection. And you have to have allies. You have to have people protecting you from certain things. And us, as You know how you ever been in school when you have a playground?
Mm-hmm.
There's always that one kid everybody's scared of and they respect.
A bully.
Yeah. So
That's a strong word, the bully.
You have to have one of those guys in there.
Okay.
Because to keep people in check. Because first of all, people don't know that. A lot of people don't. If you don't understand that, the Iranian, there's a lot of R's. I'm bad with R's. There's the Iranian in the 1979 was a close ally of the U.S. in a way. After 1979 Iranian Revolution, Iran used to be a close ally with the United States of America.
I'm not sure.
Because it was. They were close allies with the United States of America.
No.
Listen, the situation changed. Go Google it. The situation changed, Jimmy, right after the revolution.
Well, the reason I'm saying no, it is because in 1979, we had President Jimmy Carter. And it was under President Jimmy Carter, and that's one of the things that made Jimmy Carter
But that's
weak.
after 1970. Well, 1979. That happens after the revolution, because the tension. So
it might have been a couple of years previous. Then.
What changed after the revolution? Created tensions today. Okay. So whatever problem they had, like whatever it was, it created the tension right now that we're having here between them and us. So, I mean, we have we have been enemies for more than over 40 years, for a long time. So that's what most people don't understand, you know.
Because one of the things that I know, because I've been looking into this whole war situation, because it's intriguing to me, trying to understand why this decision was made to go in and attack. I mean, it's not just an attack. I mean, you literally arrested a sitting president from another country. Then now we went into another country and murdered. And we have to say that's what it is.
That guy murdered a lot of Americans.
I get it. But we went in and we murdered a sitting president. And I don't feel that we as a country can literally consume that and justify it as being, yes, because we were in direct danger. If we said, like you said a minute ago, as a Christian, you were told to protect Israel. Now, if that's the stance...
No, it says it in the Bible.
Well, it says remember, I'm an ordained pastor. Okay. It says, he who bless Israel will be blessed. Nothing about protecting Israel. Question.
Where do you stand on this?
Where do I stand on this? I think right now we are acting as a bully. While I do not believe in politics, if I had to make a choice, I think the president we have right now would have been who I said, hey, let's get this guy. There's no secret about that. However, right now...
But how not to cut your words, but how are we, I mean, I can see why you're saying that with being a bully.
But we are.
But if your enemy, for me, I feel like it's the perfect time. I mean, if you're looking at this in the art of war strategy, if you're strategizing this is the perfect time. The people are standing up against the regime. And then, you know, if you're looking at this, you're like, oh, you know what? It's the perfect time to attack.
But let me say this before I answer your question. Social media, the media itself that give us our news in our most common outlets, whether it's Fox, whether it's CNN, you are and have been conditioned to see things a certain way. Some of us, like myself, like to go to other sources. Identify with people who are in different parts of the world and see what they being told, what are they hearing, to help me better understand what is happening. And over time, it has been clear for me that, yes, the media does condition how we see things and how we're supposed to believe things are.
It's propaganda.
Yes, in order to, whether it's to get support or whatever it is. So based on that, when I go beyond and to understand why we went in attack, I think the only answer that really justifies this is Israel. That's the only thing for me that justified this attack.
Like it's Israel?
Because it's an Israel problem. It's not a U.S. problem. Allies or not.
I mean, Israel is kind of like our own allies. I mean,
not in my view. They have their own country. They have their own president. They have their own laws. However, we can. You want me to go there? We can literally bring what's that guy named? The one that died, Epstein. Yeah, the one that this whole war is happening. We're covering up so we don't really get to the bottom.
That's too controversial.
That's too controversial.
That's too controversial.
Hey, it's okay. Some people say my opinion about younger men and women.
But I mean, in a way,
older men and younger women.
In a way, people like a lot of people with a lot of assets. Inflation is beneficial to a lot of rich people.
There is that into play as well.
Because
war is beneficial to a lot of people.
You see an inflation of asset. Because that same house you have that's worth this, because of inflation, rising prices.
Mm-hmm.
You ever watch that video in the 1950s? They were showing you a house and the cars and everything. And they show it to you in 1970. And then they show it to you in today's world. And all left was the door, So with inflation,
for that price, right?
Yeah, for that price. But what I don't feel right is like where I'll say the boomers, I mean, not to pick on them, like the older generation, they sit there to celebrate because their house is tripling in value. But we're going to have a future where a young couple, a young American couple cannot even buy a house because it's so outrageous. Inflation is going up. Everyday prices of groceries and everyday goods are going up. But guess what's not going up? The pay,
for the people. The pay for the politics has went up.
Everything went up. I mean,
they get to decide where we're gonna go to. And that's what we vote for. It's okay. We voted for this, right?
So family that's living here in the U.S., their life has increased tremendously. I mean, like the prices have changed their life, and people are struggling, man. If you see it, I go out to eat. I go out to eat a lot, and sometimes you're in the restaurant and you can tell these single mothers struggling. It's hard. Things are hard for people that's living here in the U.S. But things like that definitely do. What I would want is to see this war, to answer your question, is no. I don't think it's necessary. I want to see peace. I want to see a world where, kids are not being bombed at the school. I mean, that's horrible, and we need peace in our world.
Two things. Let me go ahead and say this. Actually, I just saw this. Here it goes. So prior to 79, 1979, going back to 1953, there was a good relation. There was a decent. There was somewhat of an ally.
There was 79. An ally, in 1979.
However, the problem really, the turning point, or most important turning point in that relationship actually, was when the CIA helped overthrow Iran's elected prime minister. Mohammed, what is that? Cannot pronounce that word. Mossadegh. Right? And restored the Shah to power. And which is something that we in the United States, we do quite a lot. We go into these other countries and we place the person that we can work with better into power by any means necessary. But guys, let's be honest. Is that right? Just because another country cannot come here to America and do it, does that give us the right to go over there and do that? And then turn around and say, hey, we don't want those people here when they have problems, turmoil that they cannot live, and the poor people. Guys, we got to be realistic here.
We got to do it for the name of democracy.
No.
Democracy.
One of the things, again, I admired about our current administration is putting the focus in this country.
I like that. I like it, but at the same time, people. Look, I'm a conservative. Don't get me wrong, but the way we're going about immigration issues, I don't like that at all. Because somebody here, there's not an easy path for people to get their citizenship. You know,
Nowadays.
nowadays, like if the person here for 4 years, 20 years, 30 years, it's not easy.
They can
It
still
costs
get deported.
hundreds of thousands of dollars, and these people, because they don't have regular paper like an American
Hmm.
or a permanent resident, even when they get a loan now, most people are giving them some type of limit based on their work authorization cards. You know, so it's very hard for them each and every day because if they're working for $2 a day, you know, and they're not making, I mean, $2 per hour, they're not making as much to turn around and do that. And then what? Well, and then next thing you know, somebody's taking it home, ICE pull them over, take them and send them back. Where are those people? You know, there's people been in this country so long, and why didn't we? I feel like why don't we find a way to keep the people that's going to work and make this place great? You know.
And that would have been ideal. That would have been great, on the immigration aspect of it. But when we dealing with war, the war that we are now in, you was talking about Iran making a missile or some kind of warhead that can reach here, the United States.
Which is very difficult because of the way we position it.
Wait a minute. North Korea got some things that they can do some damage with. That could potentially reach here, I believe, California or whatnot.
Man, they ain't got no smoke, man.
Hey, that's what they say, but I know that. I don't know that regardless who we have in power would want to go into North Korea and cause the type of chaos that's happening right now in Venezuela and, of course, recently here in Iran. So I know that during this war, Iran just actually introduced another warhead where they shot it, and I was looking at this yesterday. They shot it. I think it happened yesterday morning. When they shot it, the protectors that they have spotted it because we got the same thing, and
we got the stuff, yeah.
Israel has that too, where basically the warhead is coming in, they could catch it, and boom, they're intercepted, so it don't do no damage. Well, what happened is when the ground is able to capture it and they got it locked in and they're able to stop it, that same warhead busts open, split into many different warheads, causing a lot of damage in Israel.
Really?
Yes. So we know that there's definitely.
So they got a kind of like different technology.
There is different technology, which then is going to change the game. And we also have to understand when we're using these warheads, some of these things cost millions of dollars. So a war costs millions.
But people that's online celebrating, well, there's another war. But this is what it does, okay? This is what war does, okay? Another issue is the global economic stability. Wars often creates uncertainty.
Oh, that's what I mean by the
financial market,
the money.
And when you investors, you invest in stock markets, and you can invest in 401k, retirement accounts, investment, and also affects border country like Mexico, Canada, and the North America region. I mean, that's just what war does. It affects these people, Jimmy. And people, there's not a time for us to celebrate when we at war, because you know who has to fight these wars? Our sons and daughters. Yep. And it's not going to be somebody in Congress, son and daughter. It's going to be our son and daughter.
Very
few.
few.
If I'm predicting this on Voice of the Ville, and we may touch back on this.
Okay.
If Democrats take a hold of the Congress and Senate, the president will be impeached.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of decisions made that did not go
through Congress. Yeah.
Again, like this war right here. We woke up one morning. You don't know it was being discussed. It wasn't planned.
They're going to impeach him.
They
will impeach him regardless. Was it a war? I mean,
but this one, do they have grounds?
I mean, I feel like. There is ground.
There is a law in place that before we go to war, unless there is immediate danger where the president has to make a decision. Which the
founding fathers put that in place,
So one man don't
have all that power to do it. But I mean, believe it or not, the president is really good president. But I just think that there's a lot of decisions.
Somebody said something to me because my stance as far as the current president. Again, like I said, guys, when I talk like this, I don't do that voting thing. I encourage you to do it because if that's what you believe in. But me personally, I do not feel I need to elect another man to tell me what to do. Because now they tell me what to do. Well, look at what's happening. Now, more money that I'm going to need. My pay is not increasing, but more money I'm going to need to go to the gas station, to go to the grocery stores to get the things I need. But I had nothing to do with the decision whether we go attack or not. That had nothing to do with me. But hey, majority rules. That's the system. But either way.
I mean, if we think
somebody
about it,
asked me this. Somebody said this to me. They said, since you a guy that liked Trump, how do you feel now? And my thing is, like Trump or not, as an
like
individual,
your Uncle Tom.
listen, like Trump or not,
Have you ever been called Uncle Tom for liking Trump?
Listen, people say whatever. That's an Uncle Tom. You talk about the rice, the
Uncle Jimmy,
Uncle Ben's rice. Again, those are all type of slurs. Those are all type of slurs that ignorant people will come up with to try to degrade, to try to put a title, to try to put, some kind of slander, right, based on their opinion, based on their point of view, which is all irrelevant to this guy. So what I'm saying is, so when you say, well, how do you think about it now? How do you feel about it now? How do you feel about him now? I still believe that what Trump stand on when he came for making America great again, focusing on the country, is a great thing. I still feel the same way. It's a great thing. Is he doing that now? Well, now I'm questioning, are those decisions being made right now are in the best interest of the American people? I do not know that it is. I cannot honestly sit here and say, oh, yes, this is for the people. Now, if I look at the Venezuela situation, I can be like, overall, well, I guess if this guy, I'm told that this guy, wait a minute, I'm told that this guy is a drug lord and he's bringing drugs all over. I do question, well, how long he's been doing that? Why now? Okay, fine. But he's a great drug lord and we need to get rid of him. And guess what? The oil is very, very good for the country. Okay, that's for the country. But this Iran situation, how is it for the country? I question that.
But what is it also creating, okay, for those people that are celebrating online, okay? It creates a lot of safety, security, national security concern, okay?
Well, it does.
It does create that. So reason. Now the tension rising overseas, it increase a problem into our country. Because now we're asking ourselves, what about those people that's here? Are they gonna attack?
You talk about the Iranian.
I'm just saying, like, okay. the enemies.
The enemies, okay.
Because I mean, like, it brings more pressure to our intelligence service. I mean, defense and security here at home. It brings more. Now we have to be on top of it. Because, okay, where is going to be the next attack?
Well, the country's on high alert now.
We have to. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have to take these security measures to make sure that any potential threats for our American citizens, we have to protect our American citizens. We have to protect our great city. I'm even scared to go to Nashville, and that's my spot every other weekend. Because you don't know. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm just saying, stuff like that is just create an unsafe world and an unsafe environment.
Unsafe condition here.
And saying, because you're like, okay, what happened if I go this? When I go to Nashville, I usually stay in the skyscrapers. Mm. So, I mean, like, I'm the type of guy that get the top floor because I love being on the,
and you're the first one hit.
So when I'm seeing this stuff like that on the news, and I'm like, okay, whoa, we need to stop this, guys. I just want peace. Yeah, I just want peace,
Peace would be ideal. And I know there was a lot of attempt to make peace with Iran. But again, it's under what conditions? And finally, let me say this. I really, honestly, my opinion, we are fighting Israel's war. That's my opinion. Based on my understanding of what's going on, I really feel like we are fighting Israel's war. And we have been. And here's another question that was asked. Mm-hmm. Back in June, when we did attack Iran, and the president stood there and he literally said he attacked Iran where it hurts, that Iran would never be the same, that basically it was, to my understanding, according to that speech, that we would not have this issue.
Yeah.
So what happened between June and February that now we're going in and we're taking out the leader?
It's
we
funny.
taking this guy out.
Somebody said the Epstein file.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about, right? You said that was too controversial, so I got off of it. But again, does that have anything to do with it? Because it's amazing the timing of this. Okay, you got people literally spending 20 years in jail for a bag of marijuana.
wait.
You got people like that for a bag of marijuana.
Marijuana.
Weed, right? Weed. For those of you who know it by weed.
Wait
right?
1 second. Let me give you.
So, and let's be honest, guys. I'm gonna go real controversial with this. We got guys like R. Kelly, who is spending years. Well, let me get it out. Who is spending years in jail, right, for the whole situation of the accusations against him, the whole Aaliyah situation. Years, like I think he got over 30 years in jail. But yet, we have proof videos and files of some of our leaders that was involved with pedophilia. And we're going to say it for what it is. But yet, instead of getting nobody got indicted, nobody got arrested. But what we do know is that now we are at war. Nobody's talking about the Epstein file much no more, are they? It's all about why we at war, the war, what we got to do, right? So, to me, that's part of the problem I have with politicians, because it also comes with a double standard. That's what it is, a double standard. Now, you can agree or disagree. That is your right. But what it has shown, what shows on the table, when you look at situations like that, I don't know we can really argue it. You could still choose to believe what you want. Because we said a belief, for whatever it is nothing more than what you choose as your truth. So you could choose that as your truth. But what I'm saying is, my truth is that it is a double standard when you look at situations like these. And is that the reason why we at war? Well, I have to question that, right? Are we hiding something so we go to war? Or maybe, now let's really get controversial. Maybe Israel got something hanging over our leader's head just like that. You better go in now. And then our leaders say, okay.
So you think that we are being blackmailed over here?
I don't think. I'm just stating what I see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I see. So you talk about
right? Conspiracy.
And you could take it as a conspiracy theorist. We're just talking about what is showing up right in front of us. And sometimes the obvious is right there in front of you. You just don't want to see it. But hey, it's easier to label it as conspiracy, and let's do that, and then we'll sleep better at night. And then we'll continue getting it.
Let's talk about something real quick. The Department of Homeland Security. Did you watch that?
No.
Did you watch the hearing on Capitol Hill?
Is that with the Clintons?
No. Kristi Norms, right?
Isn't that the lady for ICE?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she got fired.
Why did she get fired? I heard about that.
Wait. You gotta pull up the article on there. But anyway, she got fired.
Kristi Norms.
Yeah. I think they call her Ice Bobby.
What does that mean, man?
Ice Bobby. So supposedly she did this commercial, this TV ads, without the president approval, and then she ended up getting fired. But anyway, all the non-white people are celebrating.
But it's not her fault, people. She's only doing her job.
But anyway,
she was only doing her job.
She got fired, and then one of the congresswomen, I think one of the senator or that was at the hearing, asked her questions about her marital affair. It was a crazy week. That's some of the stuff it's pretty controversial moment on that hearing. I really enjoyed watching it. I mean, so what do you think about her? I mean, you're an immigration guy.
I'm looking at a few things, and like I just said, Kristi Norms, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have no problem with her personally. This is somebody doing their job. It's just like the police officer who stopped you on the road. And let's say the road says 55 miles an hour, and maybe you are going 64. And as you are going 64, there's really no cars in front of you, not much cars behind you. You're still driving like you're supposed to, but that cop who was probably hiding somewhere sees you going 64 and decide to stop you. Again, some people will call it bureaucracy. Jimmy will call it oppression. So when I said oppression, it's simply because, wait a minute, nobody's life is in danger. Mm-hmm. So now you're going to stop me. You're going to give me a ticket, which then going to cause my insurance to go up higher and all this replication. And then somebody's going to say, well, it's the law. Who made it? And by the same token, when we talk about double standard, by that same token, if it was whoever the politician is who was driving and probably going 70, and let's say the police didn't know it was a politician and then happened to stop the car and realize it's a politician, guess what's going to happen? You think he's going to get a ticket?
Yeah.
You think so?
Probably.
Seriously?
Probably
not.
I know.
Probably not.
I know politicians that got tickets.
But by the time they go ahead and make a quick call, or if they get the ticket, it's for sure because they're not going to end up paying that. They're just going to make a call. It's going to work itself out. What I'm saying is, basically, double standard is a real thing. Christie was just doing her job, because I would have to say this officer who happened to stop you doing 64 on a 55 mile per hour zone and give you a ticket, I guess we can say he's just doing his job. Again, some I'll call it bureaucracy. I call it oppression. And that's part of my problem with this whole politician.
It's the fact that she spent $220 million.
She had access.
Some crazy amount of number.
She had access.
Just to self-glorify herself riding a horse. I was like, what?
But she had access.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I hope she saved some.
And then the funniest thing
I hope she didn't just spend it on that. She saved
money,
something, right?
Like, I was reading it about it. The money that she, like, the contractors are like people she know, you know.
Okay.
That got the contracts for that much money. That was kind of crazy, you know. I'm looking at it. I'm like, dang, that's.
You want my opinion on that?
Yeah, I want your opinion. Yeah. What's your opinion?
She must have pissed somebody off, so they say, okay, we gotta put her under. Because it's happening every day. It's happening every day.
I don't think so.
It's taking place every single day. That's what we vote. It's taking place every single day. Big contracts, big money, right?
Yeah.
And what we do, we lift up the rag, sweep it around to the rug.
Man,
but if you rub somebody else wrong, guess what?
You in. You done.
You become that example to show, yes, there is no double standard.
In my opinion, she was a really good governor of South Dakota.
She was the governor before this
South
role,
Dakota.
right? Okay. Yeah.
But I was just kind of confused. I was like, why she's giving up that role as governor? Well, I guess it was in the middle of her
Homeland Security, right?
Yeah, going to Homeland Security. But
I can answer that. It's the money, man.
I mean, that
bigger payday.
Okay, yeah.
Bigger connections.
I mean, I guess bigger job, and then she served as a state representative for several years. I mean, several years. So she has the experience with it.
So, question: any jail time involved for her, or just fired?
No, she can't go to jail.
Now, my fellow citizens, excuse me one second. Excuse me one second, Mr. Lamour. Now, my fellow citizens, if this was you or I, would we get away like that?
I mean, they're not.
It's a question.
They're not saying that she did anything wrong.
Mr. Lamour, well, why is she getting fined if she did nothing wrong? Mr. Lamour, I need you to answer this honestly.
No, he's not. Trump saying that. Listen, Trump says that. Donald Trump says that. He's not fired.
Excuse me, sir.
He's going to make her special. I'm sorry. President Trump.
Thank you, sir. President
Trump says that. President Trump said that he's going to make her a special envoy to the administration. So technically...
So we got a promotion. Stop. Time out. Wait a minute. We got a promotion.
It's a downgrade, man.
A special envoy?
That's what he said.
To the administration?
I think it's Google it. I mean, it's some...
That sounds like an upgrade.
I mean, it's a new position that Trump created for her within the administration.
That's an upgrade.
New position. Yeah, I mean...
That's an upgrade.
And then he's
upgrade.
Listen, he's elected. He has appointed a senator that he likes watching because he's very controversial. That guy was trying to fight with a Teamster boss. He's got his Trump. Trump's a character, man.
Listen, and this is what we are dealing with, people.
Trump is a character. This is
what we are dealing with. Again, as real as can be, and he tells you as it is that I can appreciate it. But that's what I was going to say. Somebody said to me, this Donald Trump we are looking at right now is exactly the Donald Trump that they were afraid during the first term why they did not want to elect him. They felt like if he became president, we would go to war and all this stuff going to happen. But yet during that first 4 years, I think that was for a lot of peace. There was none of this going on right now. Is it because now he knows there's not another term, now he can do whatever? I mean, because I feel like there was more peace during the first term. Now we have more war. We're dealing with more war now. And this war with Iran, I cannot say it's due to the previous administration.
Yeah.
We can talk back to the Obama administration that gave 64 whatever billion, whatever money that they had given to Iran.
Trump did not give him billion, did he?
Absolutely not. So we can say, you know, the first Trump term, Iran had all that money from the previous administration, the Obama administration, right? And I know Trump had cut that, but however, we still did not go to war. But now, how do you feel about that? Do you believe that the Trump we have now is the Trump that they were afraid of, and now we're getting the truth?
I feel like the Trump that we have now is the Trump that don't have to run again. He's gonna...
Wow, yeah.
It's the Donald Trump that don't have to run again. And
you're fine.
I think that we're gonna get the Donald Trump that's not gonna hold back. But you gotta understand Republican politics. Okay. The Trump that we had in 2016 was the Trump that has to walk in line with the rule of the old establishment of the Republican Party.
Before the mega. Okay.
So now, understand this. When Trump got elected, he needed Pence.
Okay, Mike Pence.
Because the old Republican wouldn't vote for him.
This time around.
And this time around, Biden made it so easy. I mean, call it they suspect. It's not true. He made it so easy.
And then worst of all, they went with Harris.
Yeah, you're gonna send
to put the icing on that.
What's that guy, Mayor Garlic? He's gonna send FBI agents to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, now like people are looking at it like, oh, that's how y'all want to do him. You know, these people are getting away with all this stuff, and they put him in. Dude,
they put that guy through hell.
Willis is the. Why would you ever? Okay. You're going to take the president, and then you're going to hold him, and then take his mugshot. And then you don't think he was going to win that election in a landslide? And then make things even worse? Y'all take a shot at him?
I don't know.
So that movement, America First, it become
serious.
They become more serious. We're like, why are we trying to stop putting this guy in office? That's what I was looking at. And then this lady, just in the middle of the night, tweet something, said, well, we need to tax the rich. And I'm like, okay.
Let's be honest about something.
Uh-huh.
When you listen to what you just explained here, the whole situation that happened, took arrested, went to Mar-a-Lago,
sent G-Man in his office.
That's
and
right.
Biden had classified information in his Corvette.
Okay, and all this that happened. When you look at all of this,
yeah,
don't it sound like a nice Lifetime story to you?
What do you mean it's a nice life?
Don't it sound like a script? Let's think about it. Because when it was happening, I couldn't believe it myself. It made it a lot easier for me.
It makes me like mad as an American. I was like, why are they attacking the president? You know.
So is it a script? I don't know. I know I'm controversial. That's okay. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't. But I don't know. Because it made it a lot easier.
It makes you think about like things in general. I mean, like, and then they open the border. They do all that stuff with. That Biden program, like why are you? That was a garbage program.
Garbage.
Why are you letting people in the country and then you don't even have a plan?
Yeah.
You know, like it was just like now you have these people that just like getting deported. They already sold everything. They have to come over here. Yeah. I mean, so to get back to Christian norms, I mean, I think to a lot of people, I mean. A lot of people are celebrating that she got fired.
And she didn't get fired. We now learn she got promoted.
Well, she got
promoted.
She changed position, I guess.
She got promoted.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of, I just think like the fact that when she first got elected, she went to El Salvador, and she was dressing like, she had the bulletproof vest, and she was looking like, I'm like, bro, that's like Homeland Security directors don't do that. Like I've never seen anything like that. But
Showtime.
but she was kind of like one of those Kardashians of politicians.
Reality show.
Reality.
Uh,
It felt like a reality show. Now we're electing the other guy, and I'm like, oh, okay, what is it?
yeah.
What is it now? What is it next? But
What's gonna be next?
I mean,
As we wind down to
mm-hmm,
bring this episode to an end,
mm-hmm,
um, why don't we each take 5 minutes and kind of sum it up when we talk about this Christy norm and we talk about more importantly what our topic was on today, the war. Let's take 5 minutes apiece and kind of sum it up in our own point of view. Because again, that's what we can do is share our opinion,
mm-hmm.
our own thoughts. That's all we really can offer you guys is our opinion, our thought. Nothing make it facts, nothing make it true. It's just, hey, we share our belief just like you in your village. You sit there with your family and friends and you discuss these things. That's all we really can do. Just do not take it serious enough to make enemies out of your friend and out of your loved ones. It's okay for us to believe differently. It's okay for us to see things differently. So let's do that. But right before we do that, let's go ahead and say our sponsor today for this episode is
Global Cafe.
Global Cafe. Yeah. You know, all right, Global Cafe. As we said, Global Cafe is there in your community, coming, relaunching very, very soon. Now as a nonprofit, basically they're in the community to go ahead and try to integrate, whether it's language barrier, whether different classes barrier, whatever the barriers are that cause us, one family suffering, one child cannot eat. Our goal is to help educate the community, our community where we are here locally, and with goals to expand to communities throughout the United States of America and even take over the globe. Global, but but that's what it's all about. Is really trying to educate people because we believe if people are educated and understand the language, because it's not necessary where you are. One thing I can say I love about Americans is that no matter what country they go, they have a little book. They're trying to speak that country's language, trying to communicate.
They're trying to learn.
So they don't expect that that country is going to accommodate them, but they understand that this is the country, this is the language. Let's try to learn it. So it's just as important as people migrate to this country. You should be able to learn the language. That's how you can function. Yes, is this a melting pot? Absolutely, but there's still a main language which is called English. So whether we speak it with a heavy accent like we do, right, or you speak it maybe not pronouncing certain words correctly, but you understand. But that's the goal of Global Cafe or School of Enhancement, is really to try to enhance, help people understand the language so they can get higher paying jobs, to be able to integrate in the community that they are paying taxes to, right? The community, the county, the state that they're paying their taxes to, because these people at the end of the day are still working and have to pay taxes just like everybody else and should have opportunities just like everybody else, and that's what we seek to provide. So if you yourself want to know a little bit more about Global Cafe and how you can get involved to try to help this nonprofit organization now continue to grow here in the Marshall County community as we continue to look forward to expanding, please contact us. All right, we have the call number here.
Call the phone number,
and we'll be more than happy to share information with you and see what you can do to also get involved. All right, again, your sponsor today, Global Cafe School of Enhancement. Yes, sir.
And it is a nonprofit organization.
Absolutely.
Shout out to them.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Thank you. So as we wind down today,
so you want to take your 5 minutes first, or you want me to take mine?
My 5 minute.
All right.
In the closing debate, this is why you should vote for me. Okay, in today's topic, we talk about the thing called leadership.
Yes.
And the one important thing about the leaderships is the leader we elected that can help the people moving forward in the progress and the opportunity, that can create opportunity here at home, and that can build this nation and make it an incredible place to live. With this leader here we got, I feel like he has an interest at heart for the American people. But some of us that has foreigner friends that look at it, what's happening with the immigration right now, currently in this country, we can look at it, the division that it brings. To some people, they may say, this leader is poor leadership. This is a poor leadership. But if you're looking at this in a pro-America and a pro-constitution, a pro-law and order, then you're going to say, man, this is very incredible for our nations. So it's very important to keep in mind that the people that we go out and vote for and the consequences of each elections, what can really happen right now, and the things that weigh us down as people. The decision that these leaders are making can affect millions and thousands, millions of people,
Millions and millions, yeah.
and also some of the decisions the policymakers. Just like this morning, I was sitting there watching as a young American that's been here most of my life, seeing these American heroes coming out of that plane. It broke my heart, and I really wish that these leaders that was sitting there while those casket was going inside that van would sit there and reflect on the decision that they made behind that desk,
Mm.
the call that you make as a leader, how it affects not only you, the people you serve, but now we don't have leaders in our country no more. We don't have leader. The leadership, what was called leadership, is to serve. We have people that's most people that's looking for the best interest. How can this profit me and my people? So everybody turn out looking out for their own. As a leader, you have to go out there and serve. And when you see your people coming out, you should look at it and say, well, but one thing that I did see that right after that casket leave the airport, and I was watching, and I saw another soundbite a couple minutes later after a few commercials that we may possibly have boots in the ground, American sons and daughters fighting the war. What, which that brings me back to the leadership things. Did people, did these people that's elected in office, did not see this powerful moment of these young Americans, which is when I talk about young Americans, I'm talking about these Americans that that was a father, mother, husband, somebody's sons,
Sons, daughters.
somebody's daughter, that probably did not know that was going to be their last Christmas.
Hmm.
That probably they know that they were looking forward for the next Christmas. They were looking forward to see their kids graduate high school. So these are lives that we're talking about, people. So do I understand wars? No, I don't understand war. Do I think the war should stop? Yeah, I think the war should stop. I think that we need to learn how to be more peaceful. And one thing that this administration did say, there would not be no more wars. And that's one of the reasons I personally, as a voter, supported that. I don't want to see any more war. I want to see peace. But again, we live on an unperfect world, and we got people that's not perfect in office. So, and to close this down, who you vote for and who you elect in office does affect you, even here in a local level. How many guys we put as county commissioner that's not doing anything for the county? A lot of these roads in our county here in Marshall County, they're like third world country roads. You know, a lady living in the county, she complains to me every time about her house. Once it rains, she cannot get out of her driveway because her driveway is flooded. And she fixed her driveway, but the way the road is built, even though if she fixes it, it's going to get damaged again because the water is rising up to her driveway. It don't really matter if she get the driveway done. But guess what? I offered to fix her. I offered to fix that lady how the road, next to her house. But guess what? I, as a private citizen, cannot do that. So it literally has to be somebody out of that commissioner office that can help. So our leaderships affects us. So don't vote for somebody on based on name recognition because you know their mommy, you know their daddy. It affects us in the long run. So that's what I'm saying. That's my closing topic, and I'll give you 5 minutes.
Thank you for sharing that. It sounds like she may be in a flood zone or something like that.
It's not a flood zone. It's
It's
like
not.
they're raising property tax.
Okay.
They're raising property tax in the county, and they're not doing much to, you know,
to fix the
to fix
roads.
the roads. You know, see, there's a double standard between the county people and the city people.
Okay.
We complain a lot about our leaderships in the city when our leadership in the city is actually doing things to help
Versus the county.
versus the county because these guys are driving brand new trucks,
Hmm.
brand new Tahoes,
I didn't get one.
brand new everything,
I pay a lot of
and then the
tax.
little people in the county is like, so you telling me that what's the point of raising taxes? Oh well, because your property or your home, well your home estimated value went up. You know, and then we have all full time commissioner. One of the county that has all the full time commissioner. One of the county that we paying all our commissioner full time. They did that on the way to keep to keep business guys from
Okay.
running for office because you cannot run for commissioner if you're gonna have another job.
So that has to be a full time job.
This has to be a full time
What's the
job now,
salary?
which that's on we don't only two county. One of the Marshall County is one. There's only two county in the states that do it like that. Everybody's, I mean, besides like municipal office, like county, commissioners kind of like a municipal office, but I'm talking about councils and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, major big city have full time mayors, full time council, but here in Marshall County, we have we
Part
have
time mayor.
we have we have part time mayor, but somehow no. Well, in the county side, we have full time commissioners, we have
Mhm.
full time people that's elected. I mean I don't get it. So, but when you talk about county commissioner, I'm going over the board with the time.
Mhm.
When you talk about county commissioner Jimmy, we're talking about millions of dollars, a $75 million budget.
So what's their salary annual
I
for
think
this
it's
full
like
time position?
50,000, 60,000
50, 50, 60.
to be a county commissioner. But now somebody told me that they're trying to find a way
Thought
to
it was
get
more.
no, they're trying to find a way
Oh,
to get 100,000.
sheesh.
But
I'm going for that
but
job.
but listen, that's rumors, right? But I think it's more. I'm just quoting. I mean, you got to Google the information. I wasn't ready to have that
I got you,
conversation,
got you.
but
Let's
go
wrap
ahead.
it.
Let's wrap it up.
I'll take my
We need
five
to do an
minutes
episode on this.
episode on that too,
Yeah,
because people need to understand
people
how the
need to
municipal
understand.
works.
Yeah.
I know I would benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
But for my 5 minutes, I will say this: create a problem, present the solution. You're a hero, and that right there for me is the history that I've come to understand and I've come to accept. Because when you can't really do nothing much you can do about it, you just learn how to work within the system, and you do the very best that you can from here, especially if you have that it factor that I almost teach, I always teach to my student when it comes to taking care of people, having that it factor. I think Jimmy Carter probably goes down in history as far as his leadership, maybe one of the worst presidents, but at the same time, one of the most kindest human being there is. Which then goes to show sometimes it's hard when you have that it factor, it's hard to lead because others will not understand, others will take advantage of. War is not something that anybody wish upon anybody. Nobody would want to wish war upon another country. You can just imagine here in the United States, we are fortunate. We are fortunate. We are fortunate that we don't have to wake up one day and hear bell sirens ringing unless it's a storm because bombs are being dropped. That makes us powerful. That makes us protected. That makes us blessed to be Americans, to be living in this country. But we also have to examine that it factor when it comes to going into war, attacking another country. Right now, we have people, for whatever reason, in Iran that are crying. We have people in Israel that are crying. We have people in the surrounding countries now that has been attacked that are crying. Loved one died. And we have us here in the United States, our sons and daughters, as Jeff was saying, coming back in a casket. We have families, young children that'll never get to know their father, that'll never get to know their mother, other than that they were a great hero that fought for our country. While we appreciate it, we do have to ask ourselves, why are we electing leaders? What is the true cause of peace? It sounds like to me we could have made better decisions in this particular case. Whether you believe this fight is not ours, it's for Israel. Whether you believe that maybe it's the president who's going in and who's making these decisions without consulting, the proper channels that he needed to go to. Bottom line is, we are at war, and people, human beings, that are in pain, that are suffering, that are homeless right now. Yet, we here have to deal with the consequences. Because while our pay is not going up, we still have to pay more at the grocery stores. We still have to pay more at the gas station. Who does it really benefit? Well, those who are really in power, those who are really making those decisions. But yet, we can sit here and urge you to vote because that's going to make a difference. If that's the way you feel about it, then please make sure you do that. Because who you vote, I guess, does make a difference. Or does it? But I say each and every one of us, whether it's here in America or across the world, if we take that accountability for ourselves to take a look at the natural laws of self-respect, which then translated to respect for others, then maybe we wouldn't have to deal with none of that. But unfortunately, that's not the case. What do we do? Nobody has the answer. I know I don't. Certainly I know Jeff don't. And I know you don't. But we can all agree something has to give. Mm-hmm. Let's send some positive energy. And if you say prayer, let's send some prayers. Mm-hmm. Not just to those here in our country that are now feeling the pain of the loss of a loved one. Not just those in Iran whose their country is being devastated. Loved ones, sons and daughters are dying perhaps right before their eyes. Being home and before you know it, a bomb drop or debris hit. Boom, that's the end. Those in Israel, those in the neighboring country. Mankind. I think if we start looking at it from that point of view, it can make a significant difference. Here at Voice of the Ville, that's what we really can do. Let's provide our opinion, take an outlook of it, grand look of it, to see, talk about it. Some of the things you talk about, like we established in the beginning of this, some of you will identify with our point of views. Some of you will not. And it's okay. That's what makes us unique. But what we all should strive to identify with is that it factor. Because if it's not good for you, it's not good for another. Last but not least, there is nothing that is written that says that my family is more important than yours, nor is your family more important than mine. With that said, we can call it socialist or whatever title we want to put on it. But when we start thinking of it that way, just like you have need, the next person has needs, and we start respecting it that way, maybe that might be our only way to true peace, not just for our country, but for the world. Man, that sounded very presidential. Man. Go ahead. Make your vote known. Vote me for mayor of your city. Doesn't matter what city you in. I can be mayor of your city, right? Or not mayor. My bad. Vice mayor. You already have a mayor. We don't want to change that.
I felt that. I appreciate that.
Hey, we don't want to change that. Just really vice mayor. Any city.
Hey, you should be a speechwriter, man. That's really good. That's really good. America needs that right now.
Well, I agree. And I know I joke around.
I just don't see it. I don't like the fact that some people celebrate it. There's no celebrating.
There's no celebrating.
Nobody wins. Americans don't win. We don't win.
We don't win.
We definitely not winning.
All the way around, it's a loss situation.
But thanks for watching this great episode of The Voice of the Ville. And please hit subscribe and share the video.
Share the video, absolutely.
And share your comments,
Important.
And
keep it respectful.
Keep it respectful. Like I said, we all have our own opinions.
And it's okay.
And it's okay to have opinions. But thanks for supporting us, and thanks for supporting this growing channel. We are one of the fastest growing channel on YouTube. So thank you.